Hey,
hold on.
I'm not making this up. I'll say Google it if you don't believe me.
Google it.
That's how powerful this is.
Now this is the exclusive sit down for real. I ain't never hear about some shit like that.
Now you spitting facts.
Yes, that me.
Only here first.
Facts.
We want to hear first.
We want to ask you, what is the difference between the words cannabis and marijuana? I see you have both of them.
Yeah, you know, I got the shirt. You know, the story behind that is, as I came over with Marijuana Hall of Fame, I could easily switch to Cannabis Hall of Fame, and I chose Marijuana Hall of Fame for the fact that that's the most popular word. That's the word that's being used in the media. That's the word that has held black and brown people, you know, and stigmatized and incarcerated them. So I felt like if we're gonna make this legal across the board, worldwide, Canada is now fully legal, Mexico is fully legal. Like I said, several states here in the United States, not federally total, but you know, a lot of states are. Then why all of a sudden now we're gonna discard the word marijuana? So the difference between the two is really, you know, marijuana, you know, is dealing with, you know, the plant, the culture side of things, and cannabis is more of the industry, you know, the operations, I should say, you know. And so, but they both the same, you know. The root word from marijuana came from, you know, Mexico. And so, you know, that was a way of them saying, hey man, the Mexicans, man, they smoking that marijuana, whatever they wanted to call it, you feel me? And so,
Criminalized them.
you know, yeah, exactly.
It's a part of a bigger plan as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it was just, again, a way of just stigmatizing and, you know, making, you know, people afraid, you know, to even utter the word. And so, you know, that's why it's the Marijuana Hall of Fame. But in fairness, for those who want to call it cannabis, I respect that. So we call it, you know, Marijuana Hall of Fame, we call it Cannabis Hall of Fame. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's the Marijuana Hall of Fame.
How I look at it, it's like business and personal. You know what I mean? Like how you know, how they did it to everybody, if you ask me. Like, you got black and African American, you got white and Caucasian, you got Mexican and Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like personal and business when it comes to marijuana and cannabis.
It's a play with words. You know? You know, for an example, a maid, a nanny. Is a nanny a maid? Is a maid a nanny? You know, garbage man. Oh no, custodian. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's a play with words. You know, it's, you know, they're the same, but you know, for some people just want to feel more prestige by calling it, you know, we create this word where it's not so dirty. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we can get deep into that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know,
well, I get it. I really get it.
Yeah.
Growing up, how close has marijuana been to you? Like, how has it saved anything? Like, did it save your life? Did it destroy your life? What was your relationship with marijuana? Because everybody got their own relationship with weed. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I'll tell you like this. You know, I haven't missed a beat in my life cycles. You know, I worked in corporate America. You know, I'm president of a company, CEO of one company. Worked in the tech industry with a young man, Antonio. We came up with Android Tap, the first Android app on the mobile device when that Android first came out. And a lot of people it was T-Mobile. T-Mobile which came out to T1. And we sold that company. So I had an opportunity to sponsor Michael Jordan's first Jordan Brand Classic. You know, that class had.
My bad.
No, that's
cool. Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna try to slide that out
like you didn't just say Mike.
Yeah, it was just
MJ. But no, you know, it was a privilege and an honor to work with him. You know. To be up and close like we're right here talking about, you know, his career and the things that he was doing. And again, you know, worked on the 2016 Olympics with Mayor Daley, then Mayor Daley at the time. Oprah Winfrey was involved in it as well. So, you know, I can go on and on, you know, but the bottom line is marijuana hasn't did anything to affect my life, you know. Now, even when I was in the military and seeing a lot of, you know, people get, you know, killed and stuff like that, you know, I slightly suffered from PTSD. But again, you know, this plant has helped me get through that. You know, and I've had some former Marines that committed suicide. You know, it's tough.
Yeah,
you know life is tough.
Yeah.
You know? And so mental illness is tough.
Yes.
So, you know, I thank God, you know, for bringing me this far, you know, and so along with the plant, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Will?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this for a long time, man. You've been smoking weed a long time, man. You say you've been
Since 13.
smoking since 13. So how would you compare the weed back then to the weed now? Do you feel like it evolved, or do you feel like it low-key fell off and back then it was... How do you feel?
That's a good question right there.
Man, you know, hey, that's a good question. I'll put it to you like this. I remember, you know, and I'm dating myself too, you know, OG. I remember eating greens, and greens were greens. Potatoes were potatoes. Now, with them juicing it up, and milk was milk. But now when they're juicing these cows up now, you know, they spraying certain type of
GMO.
You know, right, you know, whatever on the vegetables and fruits and the plants, agriculture, man, it's different. So when you said the difference between marijuana now and back then, man, they done elevated it. They found ways to breathe, you know, the seeds more better, you know, the different strands, and I mean, you know, it's a lot of, you know, scientific to it. There's a lot of science to it, to the way they do it now versus back then. They just throw the seeds out there. Hey, got some marijuana, want to smoke? There was no names. That wasn't even, we didn't even call it loud. We didn't even call it Reggie, although, you know, me and Reggie ain't never been friends. Just put that out there. But you know, what I'm saying is, you know, it was, you know, for me, it was like we was rolling a joint. You know, we was smoking, you know, grass. You know, we smoking weed.
Grass.
Yeah, grass. They even call it grass. Yeah, it's crazy.
So where did the name reefer come from? What they start calling it reefer?
Well, that was one of the names, and I think, you know, like from the standpoint of the history, reefer was like, you know, it sound Rasta, right?
Reefer.
Rasta, you know.
Reefer.
So you know, when you think about it, it was like if you said Rasta, who would you think about?
Bob Marley.
No. Blacks. Yeah, Bob Marley, don't get me wrong. I think that would be like a Family Feud commercial. I mean, question, right? And then look, Bob Marley would be number 2, but it was black people.
It's black people.
You know,
Yeah,
it was Rasta. You know, oh God, that's the black, that's the culture. You know what I'm saying? So it just sounded better for them to say reefer madness. You know, and put that narrative out there. And they even have a movie. You know, it's another thing y'all should Google. Reefer Madness. And this movie where it's when you look at it, man, it's like this fucked up. It's garbage, you know, like real shit. It's really garbage. You got a bunch of white people running around. Oh my God, they smoke weed. Oh my God, and they, you know, and they pretend that since they smoke weed, now they're mad. You know, they going crazy, and they're locking them up and all that. And this film, they, you know, pretty much put this film out there throughout the, you know, whole America, all over the world, and you know, people bought into it. Like, oh my God,
it's bad.
It's bad. If you smoke reefer, you know, you're gonna go mad.
People are so easily influenced by the masses. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Man,
that's exactly it, bro.
Yeah,
you know, bamboozle,
bro. Could you tell our audience a little bit more about your strain that y'all are developing, your team developing?
So right now, we have a strain that we're working on called Gasanova. And Gasanova, you know, the word is taken from Casanova. You know, And then Casanova, he said, me and Romeo ain't never been friends. My tagline with Casanova is that me and Reggie ain't never been friends.
Ooh.
Damn. Because I know, man, people used to be like, man, I got some Reggie. And, I would always be like, man, but at the time, that was the weed along with some loud whatever. But, but this strand here, man, this is a concept we come up with. We're not just bringing one strand, we're mixing like 3 or 4 strands, and the focus is the terpenes.
Right.
Because the terpenes really dictates how you're going to feel.
Right.
We all know maybe a year and a half ago, everybody was sativa, hybrid, indica. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on that. Everybody's on that. You know what I'm saying? But really, the bottom line is, man, it's your terpenes. So we want to educate the consumers that what you're smoking. Make sure you know what you're smoking. So that's what it's about.
Could you educate the audience on what terpenes are?
So the terpenes are, really the bottom of the smell,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And so, they have their different smells. But then also, a step further with that is that some terpenes put you in a certain mood.
Exactly. Yeah.
Different than others, may get energetic. And there's terpenes out there that'll calm you down.
Yep.
And some that'll help you even go to sleep.
Right.
So, and that's, like I said again, that goes back to the science of things that now we're really breaking down the plant as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
What it's for.
And so people are now starting getting a better, result than just smoking anything. Because some people, if you don't know what you're smoking, you might have a bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I had a cousin, man. He zapped out. And so I think it's important to kind of know what know what works for you, and that's what you focus on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the terpenes are very important. And once you start to understand that, you have a better high.
Yeah. Nowadays they sell terpenes separate for the people that do dabs and the concentrates and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you do concentrates. A lot of the concentrates when it first started out and they was learning about it, a lot of it was just shatter. It was just pure THC, but now they learn, like you say, the terpenes make a big difference, and they starting to get into these live resins, these live rosins, and all that different type of stuff. But now they sell little vials of terpenes separate, like according to these different plants that you want. It's crazy. Man.
Yeah.
Right.
The industry definitely it's crazy.
And like I said, I think we're only, in the beginning stages of this. You know what I'm saying? There's so many more different things that awaits this plant that scientists, that people haven't even broke down yet. And so I think as we continue to grow and continue to, develop, the cannabis plant, more opportunities gonna come from that.
Yeah, for sure.
With you giving that's telling me that, like, we're students to marijuana as well as this. Like, it's a teacher, but we're students to how it can, develop the human, psyche, develop the human species, basically. Like, we students to what we can do, the different strands, you know what I'm saying? Because it's teaching us daily on how, it can affect us, and how, like, me personally, I use weed as it's like a creative, like, it's something for my brain juices. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it helps create, you know what I mean? I don't look at it as if it's just something like a plant, like you could just, I look at it as it's something like it's dimensional.
It really open up the eye.
Yeah, it's an eye opener. You know what I'm saying? People say your head be cloudy and all that, but it's not that. It shows us, like, man, we can calm down. Like, you don't have to just look at what's in front of you. You can look inside at what's inside of you. You know what I mean? Like, it's a finder instead of a, like, I don't know. Weed done so much for me, and I know it can do so much for the next person out there. But you giving me, like, the language and the wording, like terpenes, I just learned that. And now I know why it's been doing it to certain, people and stuff. They smoking Reggie. That's why they be tweaking. Or they smoking Za. That's why they be sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see it now.
How'd you like the blueberry cupcake?
Man, yeah, it's smoking good.
Hey y'all, we
That's
gotta
it.
take us a quick commercial break. Who's sit down? I gotta pee like a motherfucker.
Alright, go ahead. We go. Hey,
We're gonna take
we
us a
got
quick commercial break.
we got a song to play for
We got a song
y'all.
to play for y'all. I'll be right back. And this bitch lit though. We finna get back into it in a minute. Shit. Yeah, I gotta do it.
Go ahead, you do that.
Chief.
Hey, I be thinking back about school and shit, man. And they ain't teach me shit this whole time.
Mama, check that one, girl.
As a young nigga, remember asking how I'm gon' eat. Don't got clear, kinda make it out the street.
This one pretty good so far. I like it.
Head told down, knock out your feet. Grammar school, get expelled 2 times a week.
Good vibes. Yeah, I like it. We do the commercial. Like it.
Never teach you how to lead. Got me fucked up, I was going to see the society that I was trapped at was all a dream. I'm a living nightmare till they ugly as dream.
Oh, you just come up and down.
When I'm a king, and guns, more guns, say they wanna see us bleed. My shit off the phone, killer zone, showed us how to be. Why the fuck we killing soldiers? One day we go need. I'm on time for the real war, nigga can't be. By the pace in the race, I'm the one who in the lead. Organized with old heads, teaching shorties how to eat. All your life you been tricked, so this the way I'm gon' treat. Got a way to whoop some ass, yeah. As a young nigga, remember asking how I'm gon' eat. Dough got clear, time to make it out the street. Every day I'm getting hotter, still I gotta keep my heat. 10 toes down, hollow, knock you off your feet. Grammar school got expelled 2 times only. High school, remember I was too hot and you really dropped up. College real like they never teach. Keep a slave, never show 'em how to lead. I'ma show you how to go, you follow me, we never stop. I'm one for the people, to the motherfuckers, I'm the any brother killing brother, same category house. Got a team, all the ones who just have to get got. Some niggas hit it, bitches, but I die for a lot. Only every day, and bitch, we all looking at the real niggas in my city, every gang turn this bitch up like Chief, nigga, bang, bang. Everybody who is such a real nigga made a change. Had to play for my people, I won't let them die fast. As a young nigga, remember asking how I'm gon' eat. Go get clear, time to make it out the street. Every day I'm getting hot, still I gotta keep my heat. 10 toes down, hollow, knock you off your feet. Grammar school got expelled 2 times only. High school, remember I was too hot to even speak. Dropped out for college, real like they never teach you. Keep a slave, never teach you how to lead. They'll never teach a slave how to lead or leave. So fuck them. Be a master. Be a master. Be a master.
Okay. You just tuned back into.
The exclusive sit down.
Let's get it. How you feeling? You back in mode?
Let's do
Make it
it.
happen. Make it happen.
Yes, sir.
I am hot as hell right now. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I
we
just,
fried.
hey,
Side to the side.
That blueberry cupcake ain't on her, man.
Hey, man, shout out to Leon Rogers.
hey,
You know what I'm
big
saying?
shout out to Leon Rogers.
Shout out Leon Rogers.
Shouting out Gasanova.
Yes, sir.
Real.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of the Chicago radio stations, 92.3 and 107.5.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Big salute, Chicago. We got Vincent E Norment in the building. Let's get it.
Fucking business.
Sir.
Yeah.
So, can you tell us?
The battery finna die.
Is we good? Can you tell us about how marijuana has done like wrong to the black and brown communities, and like where can we get better at? Where can it get better at? Like how did they do us wrong, and how could they make up for it in long term?
How they did us wrong, you know. I'm gonna go kind of deep into this, but it's not just locking up, you know, an African American man.